Since the Manson murders, the foreign state in Beverly Hills, which is shown in this photo, has been entirely rebuilt. These vast buildings, which were the creations of some of the most renowned architects in the world, formerly served as residences for the wealthy and powerful until unspeakable horror struck. A lavish hilltop property in Beverly Hills, California attracted attention after it was listed for $85 million. This gorgeous home appears as if it belongs in Netflix's Selling Sunset, but it hides a very horrible secret. While the original home was destroyed after the murders of pregnant actress Sharon Tate, Abigail Folger, Jay Sebring, and others, homes across the globe have been left to rot after witnessing gruesome crimes. This house is located on the same lot where the grisly Manson family murders occurred in 1969. Here, we expose the startling tales that lie behind the expensive homes that no one wants to live in. These are darkly haunted mansions that have been abandoned. First, we have the Los Feliz Murder Mansion. Dr. Harold Perelson was a successful physician with a wife and 3 children when he moved into a Spanish-style mansion in the sought-after Los Feliz neighborhood in Los Angeles. But on the night of December 6, 1959 at 4:30 a.m., he bludgeoned his sleeping wife Lillian, who was 42, to death with a hammer before attempting to murder his 3 kids. After killing Linda, he walked calmly into his 18-year-old daughter Judy's room and attempted to smash her skull. Unlike her mother, Judy screamed after the first blow, loud enough to wake her younger brother and sister Debbie and Joel. Piercing told Debbie to go back to sleep, saying she was having a nightmare, but in the chaos, Judy managed to escape and alert the neighbors, who then called the police. Police found the young teenager waiting unharmed in the lobby, and Piercing lying dead beside his blood-soaked wife, having overdosed. 2 years after the murder-suicide, the house was sold to a couple named Julian and Emily who never moved in. Their son Rudy inherited the property in 1984, but told the LA Times in 2009, "I don't know that I even want to live here or even stay here," adding that he used it for storage. Those who were brave enough to peek inside the house estimated to be worth $2.5 million, a household stuck in the 1950s, complete with the original TV and Christmas presents brightly wrapped and left untouched ever since. The house was recently cleared for being put on the market. Up next, we have Abercrombie and Fitch's designer $4 million castle. When David Abercrombie, founder of Abercrombie and Fitch, built a castle in New York State, he and his wife Lucy named it Elder Castle after their 4 children Elizabeth, Lucy, David, and Abbott. But the family home, which sits on 49 acres of land and boasts 25 rooms including serving quarters, would become blighted with tragedy. A year after its completion in 1928, the couple's daughter Lucy died in a chemical explosion at her father's nearby factory. In 1931, at the age of 64, David Sr. died, and 6 years later, David Jr. was killed in an accident. After her husband died, Lucy went to live with her oldest daughter Elizabeth in New Jersey until she died in 1955. Elder Castle sat empty for years and was attacked by vandals who poured paint on the marble floors and set fire to all different parts of the building. It was eventually sold in 2009 for $4 million. Up next is the Villa de VECCHI, which is known as the most haunted house in all of Italy, known as the House of Witches. The imposing Villa de VECCHI near Lake Como in Italy dates back to 1854 to 1857, built as a summer house for Count Felix de Vicci and his family. The stunning villa boasts priceless wall frescoes and 13,000 acres of land. But 5 years after it was completed in 1862, the Count came home to discover his wife had been brutally murdered and his daughter was missing. He spent a whole year searching for his daughter, but in despair, he took his own life. His brother lived in the house until the First World War, but then it was left empty. An attempt to sell the house in the 1960s failed, partly due to its reputation as Italy's most haunted house. In 2002, an avalanche destroyed all the houses in the area, but the villa remained standing. As you can see, a lot of these rooms had very tall ceilings and a ton of detail, and still just remain vacant to this day. It's sad to see that this place just still sits here with nothing happening to it and no plans. Up next, we have the Cheshire Mansion, a 5-bedroom mansion in the most affluent part of Cheshire. It is a spacious Victorian home set on over 2 acres, but this former home of lawyer Christopher Lumsden sat vacant for over a decade after he killed his wife in the master bedroom. Lumsden stabbed 53-year-old wife Alison over 30 times in the face and neck in 2006 after she told him she was leaving him for a family friend. After pleading guilty to manslaughter on the grounds of diminished responsibility, he served just 2.5 years in jail. The house was bought by a property developer in 2007, but buyers were put off by its grim past. And it's now believed the house has been renovated and is up for sale for $4 million. Up next is the Long Drive property on Bishops Avenue in London. The most notorious empty mansions are those in what's known as London's Billionaires Row, mainly owned by foreign investors who leave them empty as the price source. But Bishops Avenue, where the average house price is $10 million, has seen its fair share of drama with a murder, squatter, and pedophile cult all in its history. In 1970s, Kingston, one of the mansions of Hampstead Street, was a commune for children of God who later became the Family International, squatting there after a property developer supporter went bust. Then, allegedly ran a rental TV scam from the property, but other activities within the cult were far more sinister. This right here is the picture of millionaire fashion designer Aristos Constantino, who was killed when returning to his luxury home after a party with his wife. Founder David Berg even ran a pedophile ring out of there, making young girls sleep with different men every night and sending teenagers to go recruit new members. Boys, including the late star River Phoenix, were reportedly abused from just the age of 4. In 1984, nearby Heath Lodge, 40-year-old Greek fashion mogul Aristos Constantino was shot with 6 silver bullets in the family chapel. Wife Elena claimed the couple had been ambushed by raiders after returning home from a New Year's Eve party and that she escaped out of a bathroom window. Constantino paid $537,000 for the property shortly before his death, and now it's estimated to be worth $8.9 million. The MINXIONG Ghost House is the next stop. Since the affluent family in Taiwan abruptly left in the 1950s, this family mansion has been vacant. According to local lore, Liu Rongyu and the family's maid were having an illicit relationship. The maid was overcome by shame and leaped down a well when stories about the affair reached Liu's wife. Some say the family left because the girl's spirit followed them home each night to haunt them. A few years later, KMT political party members from China who had fled to Taiwan to avoid persecution took up residence there. Numerous people were rumored to have committed suicide at this location, thus enhancing its gloomy reputation. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed the video, and make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications as always. To follow Luxoid on social media, please review the links in the description box below. Thank you in advance for your feedback. I am Miss Luxurious, signing off for now. Do not forget to visit our YouTube luxury channel Luxoid to explore the exemplification of the great state of comfort and extravagant living.